So to risk to reward ratio, right, is very, very important in your journey as a trader, right? Now, if you understand risk to reward ratio, right, you can actually turn a bad strategy to a good strategy. And that is exactly what I showed you in this expectancy and success rate, right? I've shown you that you can actually change a bad strategy to a good strategy by working on the risk to reward ratio. Now let's look at risk to reward ratio in detail, right? So that you understand its importance. Now, take for instance, so by risk to reward ratio, it simply means, right? Let's say that you've opened a position. How much are you risking to get how much, right? Now, let's say that if your risk to reward ratio is 1:1, right? So what this simply means that let's take for instance, you are trading with $50, right? You are risking $50 per trade. So what this simply means that you are risking $50 to make $50, right? So if your risk to reward ratio is 2:1, or I mean your reward to risk is 2:1. So what this simply means that you are risking that using $50 as benchmark, right? So what this simply means that you are risking $50 to make $100. Now, if your risk to reward ratio is 3:1, right? You are risking $50 to make $150. If your risk to reward ratio is 4:1, you are risking $50 to make $200. Now, if your risk to reward ratio is 1:5, right, you are risking $50 to make $250. Now, looking at this, you see that there are so many risk to reward ratios. So you can even 6:1, 10:1. Like I have a trade currently running on LSRP. I think in that trade, I've done how many save. So this trade on, okay, this trade on, right? So this trade I have on BTC, right? This is the same trade I posted on my Twitter, right? So this trade, the risk to, if you watch here, you see risk to reward ratio 5.3, right? So this just like risk to reward ratio of 1:5. Let's take for instance, if I'm risking, let's say 50, if I'm risking $10, I'm making $50, or if I'm risking $50, I'm making 50 by 5 is $250, right? So if I'm risking $10, 10 by 5, which is 50, right? So I think this is the trade that I posted on S. If you've been following me on S, you've been seeing my updates on that trade, and that I entered that trade yesterday, right? So this particular trade, I've actually taken partial profit from that trade. I've actually taken partial profit from the trade, right? So the risk to reward ratio for this particular trade is 1:5. Now I have another trade that is SRP, right? Now this SRP, I think the risk to, let me check the risk to reward, right? Let me check the risk to reward again. I know it's like 20, or it's like 1:20, I'll be 1:10 or so. Right, so this is 1:22. Right, so let me zoom out. Now this trade on XRP, right? So the risk to reward ratio is 1:22, right? So let's say that if I'm risking $10, I'm making 10 by 20 is 200. 10 by 22 should be $220. But now the price hasn't actually gotten to 22. Price is around, let me see how many Arab price has given me so far. So I've been swinging this guy for long based on some on-chain analysis and some fundamentals behind SRP. So that is why I've been swinging it. Right. So it has done, let's just say that it has done 1:10, right? So that is more like, say, if I'm risking $10, I've made $100, right? So these are the importance of risk to reward ratio. And how you know ROI to use is not magical, right? The ROI you are going to, how you know the risk to reward ratio is from your analysis, right? After your analysis, when you might have choose your your stop loss entry. Let's say you are buying. When you use the long two, maybe after putting it at your entry to your take profit, to your stop loss, then just look at this thing here. You'll be able to see the risk to reward ratio. Now, if the risk to reward ratio is not what you like, you can adjust it. But now, in setting your take profit and stop losses, right? From I believe you watching this video, you're already familiar with technical analysis, right? You know that you don't just choose anywhere at your take profit and stop loss. So maybe your take profit might be a liquidity point, right? Or your stop loss might be a liquidity it might be a level below, right? So it's always good whenever you are, take for instance, this setup I have on BTC, or even the setup on Euro USD. Yeah, should good. Right, so take for instance this setup I have on BTC, right? So this is where I was looking at taking profit, but because of some fundamentals coming, I just closed partials because I know that next week there's going to be a lot of move for this guy, right? So why am I taking profit at this level? I'm taking profit at this level because this is a structural high, right? So this is a liquidity point. So I know that if price is going up, definitely it's going to take out this side. So that was why I was using here as my take profit. Why I was using this level here as my stop loss, because this is a low, right? And I just covered the low for my stop loss. So with that, I was able to get 1:5 on this trade. Now, if you watch the setup I have on Euro USD, right? This is the setup I have on Euro USD. You see that for those who are already familiar with some terms in trading, right? We have another block here, or if you understand SLK, structural liquidity and key level, see that there is a level here. There is, will I call it, and if price should be dropping, once price reaches here, so it's going to give a reaction because we have another block here. So I'm selling to the other block. So for this particular setup, the risk to reward ratio is 1:7. Right? The risk to reward ratio is 1:7. So I'm selling from here to this other block. So this other block is my take profit. Then my for stop loss, I just covered this high, right? I just covered this high, right? So you don't just choose an arbitrarily stop loss and take profit. So there are some levels in the market you need to watch out for. Then depending on the type of trader you are, like for me, I don't take trades that don't give me at least 1:3. At least the minimum I look at. So if the trade can't give me 1:3, then no need of me taking it. So that is my own based on my understanding of risk to reward ratio. Now, why is that important? Now, for a trader who is using 1:1, right? You for you to be profitable, you need to have 60% success rate. So that means out of 10 trades, right? If you are using 10 trade samples, out of 10 trades, you need to win 6, right? Now, if you are the type that does, if your risk to reward ratio is 2:1, that means for you to be profitable, you need to have 40% win rate. So that means out of 10 trades, if you are using 10 trade sample, out of 10 trades, you need to win 4. And if you are a trader that does 1:3, at least 1:3 like me, the minimum is 1:3. If the trade can't give me 1:3, I'm not taking the setup, right? So if you are that kind of trader, you just need to have 30%. So that means in a sample of 10 trades, if you can be able to win 3, you are profitable. Now, if you're a trader that does 4:1, if you're able to win 3, you are profitable. Then if you're a trader that does 5:1, if you are just able to win 2 trades, you are profitable, right? So the this thing goes on and on, right? So depends on the type of trader or on the type of risk to reward ratio you want to go with. But personally, I won't advise anybody to go with 1:1. So you can decide to do 2:1, 3:1, depending on what you want. Now, let's say that you are a trader that is doing 3:1, right? Let's say that you're a trader that is doing 3:1, right? Now, let's say that you have 10 trade samples. You have 10 trade samples and you are doing 3:1, right? Let's say that you are, okay, let me just about this. You are doing, if you are doing 3:1, right, in 10 trade, I call this 10 trade rule, right? So this 10 trade rule, right? So let's say that your risk to reward is 3:1. So that means if you have and you have and you just have 30% win rate, right? If you have 13% win rate, win is 30, then that means 70% are lost, right? Now, since you are risking, let's say you are risking $50 per trade, right? Now, these 3 trades that go in profit is going to give you, remember, in each one that goes in profit, right? In each one that goes in profit, since you are risking $50 per trade, so that is 150, right? That is 3:1. You are risking $50 to make 150, right? So and you have 3.1, that is $50 times, that is 150 times 3, that is $450, right? Then these are, you have 7 trades that are in loss. And remember, in each losing trade, right, you are just losing $50. So that means $50, that means $50 times 7. Right, so 5 times 7 is 35, which is, this is $350. All right. Now, the net profit, net P&L, right? Net profit will now be the win minus the loss, right? So the win is 450. 450 minus 350, right? You see that you are still the big boy with $100, right? And this is for in 10 trade samples. If you are just able to win 3 trades, if you are just able to win 3 trades, right? Win 3 trade and you lose seven trades, right? So if you're able to win three trades and lose seven trades, you are profitable. That is the same thing as what we have on this chart. So you need to have a minimum of three winning trades to be profitable. So if you have two winning trades, you can't be profitable. If you are using 3:1, you need to have a minimum of three winning trades. Now imagine if you have four winning trades. So that means the profit, you're already in a big profit, right? So now when you understand this 10 trades rule, right, and how to use it, it's going to help you a lot, especially for those of you that might be trading prop firms like us, right? So in prop firms, depending on the stage you are, right, you are not allowed to lose more than 10% of the capital, right? So you can apply this 10 trade rule to trade prop firm, right? Then you can as well make it 20% trade rule. So by this 10% trade rule, take for instance, if I'm trading prop and I know that the maximum loss I can have in the prop account is 10%, right? And I'm using 10 trades. So what I just do is that since the maximum risk is 10%, right? And I want to use 10 trades rule, right? So that means I'll be using 1% per trade. I'll be using 1% per trade. So that means if I'm in my position calculator, I'll still show you how to walk around this calculator. So that means if I'm on this forex calculator, instead of using two, I'll be using one, right? To be sure that if I have 10 trade samples, I'll just be risking one per trade, right? Until I've exhausted the whole option, right? So if you apply these 10 trades to trade prop, it's going to help you a lot. Then you can, depending on, yeah, now this 10 trade rule is not like, it's not cast on or on stone, right? You can change it to 20 trade rule. So that means if you are trading prop that has 10% maximum risk, if you are using 20% trade rule, so that means you'll be risking 0.5% per trade, right? So that you want to be able to have 20 trades sample, but I prefer to go with 10 trade samples. So in that 10 trade, I will know my fate. If I'm able to just win three, once I win three only, if I win only three, I'm profitable, right? So depending on the market condition, you can even win seven, you can even win eight, you can even win all. And you can even win four. So depending on how you, how favorable the market is, and also how you're able to your understanding of the market, right? So I believe in the risk to reward ratio is clear, right? So there is no special way to do it. It all starts from your analysis, right? So if from your analysis that you are going to know, okay, where is your entry and where is your exit. When you can be able to know your entry and your exit, then once you put like if you are selling, you are going to use the short tool, right? While when you are buying, you are going to use the long tool. So if you are still confused on how to use the short and the long tool, I think you should go back to the introductory video on Forex, which is also on this channel, right? The video where I explain how to use trading view, right? So there I showed you how you use this long and short too. So once you be able to put it after your analysis, you can be able to know, okay, this trade is giving me 3:1, this trade is giving me 5:1, this trade is giving me 4:1, this trade is giving me 1:2, try or thereabout. Right, so I want to quickly go to the MT5, right, and show you how the leverage, the margin, and everything works, right? The equity and how they work, the position sizing, before I show you how to use the calculator, because I'll be showing you how to use the calculator from my tablet. So let me quickly show you how the whole equity, how the whole calculation MT5 does it. All right, stay with me.